right. Sorry for the delay there, guys. Wanted to make sure I got everything set up. Give me 1 second. Let me tweet out that I'm live, and then we can get into it. So excited. NBA back. We have a ton of stuff to go over, obviously, for the preseason. It's all about news. So let's first do that. What's up, guys? All right. So let's go over everything that we know so far. And let me make sure this is refreshed. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, it's very important to do so. I've been retweeting all this relevant information so far today. But so we got news that Christian Wood was out. He was going to be one of my favorite plays tonight. He's out. One of the Rockets beat writers said we'll be seeing a lot of DeMarcus Cousins. I don't know if we can necessarily trust that just because coming off the injury, I wouldn't assume they'll give him a ton of run. Another one said we'll be seeing a lot of Bruno Caboclo. So Bruno I kind of like as a lower owned play tonight. I don't know, again, if Cousins will see a ton of minutes, but with no Christian Wood, they are pretty thin up front. Let's see. The real Jake Anderson, the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man, for you coming in and continuing to support the live stream. Greatly appreciate it. It's great to see you back in here. Let's get it. Thanks again. I really do appreciate that. But, all right, so back to what we know. Hawk starters, we got news about 24-25 minutes, which is actually really good for the preseason. So Hawk starters are some of my favorite plays tonight. You know, obviously Trae Young is one of the top plays of the slate in my opinion, but also I think you can consider guys like John Collins, a guy like Bogdanovich, maybe even a guy like Clint Capella. So for the Magic, we also got news that changed some things. Aaron Gordon will play about 16 minutes, and the other starters will play 24 to 25. Michael Carter-Williams and Cole Anthony will be around 24 to 25 too. So the Magic starters plus MCW and Cole Anthony, I think all are pretty solid plays. So Vucevic originally was a guy I wasn't super excited about. Now I really like him as a play. Let's see. For the Knicks, someone asked any idea in minutes. So Knicks beat writer said, don't expect starters regular season level minutes. Thibodeau says he wants to play them in 7-minute segments. Also, he said, where I think I would have to go back to him. Hold on. He said we'll be mixing and matching and that he wants to see a lot of different combinations. So that makes me a little bit weary targeting these Knicks. Like Randall is a guy I was pretty high on, but maybe he only sees like 20 minutes in this one. Again, they said they want to see a lot of different combinations of players, which is a little bit worrisome. So yeah, Knicks I'm kind of pumping the brakes a bit as far as their minutes. Again, we went over a no Christian Wood. We got the Knicks starters and Alfred Payton, Burks, RJ Barrett, Randall, and Nerlens Noel. You know, my best guess for the minutes is about 20, which is not terrible, but there's other teams we can project about 25 right now. So Randall would be the target if I was going to play one of these Knicks starters, but right now I'm not as excited. Again, we went over the Magic starters: Bacon, Aaron Gordon, Vucevic, Fournier, Markelle Fultz. Everyone but Aaron Gordon will be playing about 25 minutes. We got the Hawks starters in Young, in Bogdan, in Hunter, and Collins, and Capella, all viable, right? All are going to play on the higher side of the minutes. PJ Tucker's out. Again, Harden's out. Christian Wood's out. Pistons starters tonight are Hayes, Svi, Grant, Griffin, and Okafor. I think Killian Hayes is a cheaper option, certainly in play. What do we expect minutes-wise? Don't really know. I mean, if we go off the first preseason game last year for the Pistons, we saw about 20 at most. So not amazing, but yeah, Killian Hayes, definitely viable here for a cheaper guy. Bulls, we got their starters with Kobe White, Zach LaVine, Otto Porter, Markkanen, and Wendell Carter Jr. Donovan said he plans to use a 9-man rotation in the first half. We'll expand in the second half. So what does that mean exactly? Well, my best guess is we probably see the starters for 3 quarters. So I would say they get their normal rotation in the first half and then probably start the third quarter. And then when they sub out, they're probably going to be done. That's my best guess. You never know. They could only play a half, but based on what this quote says, I would assume they probably get 3 quarters. One over the Hawks starters. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. And that's really it. So It is. Yeah, I'll be keep checking this list for NBA beat writers. This is where I'm getting a lot of my information from. So I'll be constantly refreshing this in the stream, make sure we don't miss anything on minutes or everything for the preseason. And let's see, Killian Hayes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, you'll see me coming in here and checking some things. I want to make sure we don't miss anything here. Okay, I think we're basically up to date now. Again, I'll do my best to try to keep track of everything. Let's see. Joe Tadaro, sorry if I mispronounced your name, with this $5 super chat. Thank you, man. How do you feel the starters' minutes will look? I know they won't play full runs. Thoughts on sleepers like Tobin and Halliburton in utility spots. So, starters' minutes for some teams, it's going to be about 25. Again, that's kind of the high end for today. If we can expect about 25 minutes, that's really good. So again, Hawks are a team we can expect about 25 minutes from starters. Same with the Magic right now. Again, there's some later games we don't know for sure, but those are two of the teams right now I want to focus on getting some players in. As far as Obi Toppin and Halliburton, yeah, they're going to be lower owned, right? Obviously, rookies, we haven't seen a ton from them. Obi going to come off the bench. The reason I'm a little bit weary of Obi Toppin is Thibodeau said he's going to use a ton of different combinations. So how many minutes does Obi get? I think a fair guess is probably 15 to 20. And yeah, sure, he can get you there. I think he will be lower owned. Probably not an optimal play tonight, though. As far as Halliburton goes, we'll be coming out the bench for the Kings. The Kings are a team last year. Again, we don't have news yet, but last year the starters got a ton of run in the first game. So the Kings are another team I'm really high on. That's not confirmed. I'm just going off last year. But yeah, Halliburton will come off the bench. Again, you can take a shot on him. Right? He's not out of play. If the starters end up getting limited, he probably would look a little bit better. Real quick, guys, if you enjoy this content, would appreciate it to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are almost already at 250 concurrent viewers, so let's try to get 100 likes in this live stream. Would greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, so we went over the news. Again, I'll get some questions here in a sec. I do want to thank Prize Picks for sponsoring the show. If you guys are not familiar with Prize Picks, it's a site where you can bet on player props. You can bet over-unders. So if you guys want to sign up, you can use the code DKDFS. That's all one word, DKDFS. I'll have a link in the description below. You can get a 100% match up to $100. So you put $100 in, you get $200 to play with. And you can bet anywhere from 2 to 5 players and win up to 10x your money. So looking at these player projections, they have Derrick Rose right now at 18.5. I think that's a little bit high based off what we saw the first preseason game last year for the Pistons, right? We saw Rose only play, him and Griffin played about 14 to 15 minutes. I'm sure things could change, but I do, right now, I kind of like the under on 18.5 there for D Rose. As far as Kawhi and Paul George, they didn't play a lot in the preseason last year. Oh, sure, that was with Doc Rivers. We have a new coach, but how much they're going to play today? Also, LeBron and AD are out. So I don't even know if Kawhi and Paul George play, so I kind of like the under on them at the moment. And then, Trae Young's at 28. That seems about right. I like him a good amount. I like Vooch a good amount with about 25 minutes. De'Aaron Fox at 24.5. I mean, if he plays close to 30 minutes like he did in the first preseason game last year, I kind of like the over there. So, that's it for Prize Picks. Again, if you guys want to sign up, you can use the code DKDFS, all one word. I'll have a link in the description below for you guys if you want to use that. But, all right, back to DraftKings. And, yeah, I'm going to see if we got any more news, and then we'll talk about teams really quick. We got about 30 minutes to lock, so we definitely have some time. Let's see, anything here. Derrick Rose is the only player I've seen in warm. Okay, that doesn't matter. Okay, so no other really breaking news yet. Again, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. Paulie B with the $5 super chat as well. Thank you, man. Let's go, Michigan love. You rock. Hey, appreciate that, man. Fultz Nicola, good plays. Now, yes, I like the Magic guys a good amount. Full fade in the Knicks Pistons game. Yeah, that's a game I'm not super confident with, as far as the minutes wise, because minutes are everything right now in preseason, and they just look a little bit better right now projecting for the Magic and the Hawks. And we do kind of have that news confirmed. So, all right, let's talk about each of these teams again. Magic originally was a team I wasn't super high on, but we got that news, 24 to 25 minutes for the starters besides Gordon. So Gordon I'm crossing off, but Vucevic at 8K against the Hawks. Capella's not a great defender. John Collins not a great defender. I like him a lot here. Now we'll go over some other bigs. Like bigs, I think you definitely want to use 4 bigs in your lineup. Now we kind of went over that if you guys missed or didn't catch my video for how to win an NBA DFS. Usually I like playing as many bigs as I can in my lineup. Bigs or point guards, but yeah, bigs are... there's a lot of really good plays today with the big men, and Vucevic is definitely one of those guys. So, yeah, I really like him. Definitely one of my favorite spend-ups right now of the slate. Fournier at 5'9", playing alongside Gordon and Vooch. Not super excited about that. Now, Markelle Fultz intrigues me at 5K. He's a guy that can get hot. He'll be running the point guard. I think definitely viable. I'm not really looking at Dwayne Bacon starting. And then I think you can look to Cole Anthony, the rookie, 4.8K. Again, we expect him, MCW, that being Michael Carter-Williams, to play about 24 to 25 minutes. So, I definitely have interest in Anthony as well. Right now, really the Magic are a team that I like a good amount. Hawks as a team in general, we know it's not a great defensive team. So there's definitely some good plays here. Again, MCW will be super, super low on, but he's in play. He's a guy that stuffs the stat sheet. So there's a good amount of plays that I like here for the Magic. Vucevic, the top spend up, but some other guys I think you can consider. Markelle Fultz, I think you can give a look to Cole Anthony and MCW off the bench. Let's go to the Hawks. So for the Hawks, Trae Young at 8.5, again, 25 minutes. That's probably the best you're going to get for the starters in the preseason today. So Trae Young's one of my favorite plays. We know he's such a high usage guy. He's going to shoot the ball a ton when he's out there. Love Trae Young. He's going to be popular, but he's someone that I'm jamming into my lineup for sure. Really, really do like him. Capella and John Collins definitely in play here, right? This is, with the first 2 games, we have confirmation that, the starters for the Hawks and the Magic are going to play more than, starters for the Knicks and the Pistons. In the late games, we don't have anything yet, so do you want to just jam in a lot of Magic and Hawks guys? You can, and just hope for a lot of the stars don't play in these games. But Hawks again. Trae Young, really do like him. Collins versus Capella. I think I would give that edge to Collins. Now, salary doesn't matter a ton in this slate. You definitely don't have to use all your salary. I know on FanDuel, everyone's $100. But yeah, John Collins is just a better offensive player than Clint Capella. Clint Capella is more just used in pick and roll situations. He's not a great offensive player. He's more out there for putbacks, whereas John Collins actually has an offensive game. So I would prefer Collins to Capella if you're going to make me pick. I'm not looking to the veteran Gallinari. Now, Bogdan Bogdanovic, new addition here to the Hawks team. I think he's definitely in consideration. Small forward, kind of weak on this slate, so I think he's going to be one of the more popular plays for sure. I do have a good amount of interest in him at 4.8K. Again, price doesn't matter a ton, but he'll probably be, the 1B to Trae Young. Again, they do have obviously John Collins as well, but Bogdan definitely someone I'm looking to as well. And that's kind of where my interest lies. I'm not really looking to DeAndre Hunter. I don't think I would really play anyone off the bench for the Hawks. So yeah, it's Trae Young, it's Collins, and it's Bogdan Bogdanovic for me right now. Let's see. Got to be Bogdan. How you feeling? Luke Kennard, Bruno and Boogie minutes distribution. That's. We'll go over that in a sec. All right, so for the Knicks, again, we kind of went over it. Starters minutes a little bit more up in the air based off the quotes we've seen. My best guess is the starters get about 20 minutes, and Thibodeau said he wants to use a lot of different combinations. Not great. So with the starters, with Randall, Elf, RJ Barrett, Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, the guy I would look to would be Randall. But again, bigs, there's a lot of good big plays on this slate. We'll talk about Montrezl Harrell. We'll talk about Cantor, Giles later on. Yeah, Randall right now, I'm probably, again, if I was going to pick one of these guys, it would be him, but I'm not overly excited about it. As far as guys on the bench, I think you can take a shot on a guy like Obi Toppin or even Mitchell Robinson. Obi Toppin, the rookie, again, I think they're going to want to give him some decent minutes. My best guess about 15 to 20. Mitchell Robinson, we know, is a high-usage guy. He's a guy that can go out and get you 4 or 5 blocks in 20 minutes. So those are 2 guys in consideration off the bench. I don't think they're going to be super popular, but other than that, that's really where my interest lies. So Randall is an okay option, but I expect some starters again for other teams to play a little bit more. And then Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin as lower owned plays I think are viable. But yeah, that's really it for the Knicks for me on the Pistons side. We did get that news of the starters. D Rose, we're not really looking to, again, in the Pistons' first season game last year, they played about 15 minutes, him and Blake Griffin. And veterans just in general, older guys, don't play a ton. Sorry about that. D Rose is probably a fade for me. Blake Griffin, the same thing, right? Coming off injuries. I don't think he's going to see a ton of action. And again, the first game last year, he played about 15. So D Rose, Blake Griffin kind of fades for me. Guys that are in consideration for the Pistons, Killian Hayes, the rookie, 4.4K. He's getting a lot of praise out of camp. Obviously, the matchup is good against the Knicks. And I think, what I expect from him minutes-wise, I would say around 20, maybe a little bit more. And he's the guy I think would get the most minutes out of these Pistons guys since he's young. Obviously, rookie. They want to see what they got out of him. So Killian Hayes, definitely someone I'm looking to for value. I think Jeremy Grant viable as well, the new addition from Denver. He was a low-usage guy in that Denver offense, but he's not going to be playing alongside a lot of amazing players for the Pistons. Again, I don't think Rose and Blake play a ton. So Jeremy Grant, I could see playing 20-ish minutes, and again, he's a guy that can get you some blocks and steals. In consideration there at 4.9, DeLon Wright as a pretty low-owned play. I think a lot of people are going to look to Killian Hayes, so if you want to get different, you could look to a guy, DeLon Wright. He's still a younger guy. He's 28. He's flashed a lot of upside, especially a couple years ago there with Memphis. So, yeah, DeLon Wright, definitely viable. I think he has more of a lower-owned contrarian play. And then the bigs, Okafor is going to be starting here. It looks like we know like Okafor, 1 given minutes, is a really productive guy. So, yeah, he's also in consideration. It's just, how many minutes does he get? They have a lot of bigs. They have Plumlee. They have some of the rookies as well. So, that's where my interest lies there for the Pistons. Let me refresh this list here, so if we got any more news. Again, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat as well. Played so much bubble showdowns. Okay. Let's see. Steven Silas said Christian Wood, who is out tonight, should be cleared to practice Monday. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Rockets want to play the starters for around 20 minutes. Okay, so starters for the Rockets: John Wall, Eric Gordon, Danuel House, Jason Tate, DeMarcus Cousins, and expect about 20 minutes. That's not bad. For a guy like Boogie Cousins, John Wall are the guys I would consider here. Let me retweet that really quick just so we got that news. So, yeah, John Wall, Cousins are the guys I would look to here just because they're high usage guys. Obviously, no Harden in there. Trying to see if we got any more news. Okay, so this is one where let's go to Houston now since we just talked about it. With Wall and Cousins. So no Wood. We know DeMarcus Cousins is a really, really good point per minute guy. And this matchup is great against Chicago. Wendell Carter Jr., not a great defender. Neither is Lauri Markkanen. So do you prefer 20 minutes from Boogie or do you like 25 minutes from Vucevic? It's actually close for me. It's really close. So Boogie is definitely someone I'm looking to tonight. I don't think he'll be super popular just because people are going to want to use all their salary. And, I think he's not going to be as popular as some of the other guys. The tricky part here is just center, right? So there's a lot of good center plays. One over Vooch. We talked about Boogie now. And then you have some cheap guys in the late game with guys like Cantor, guys like Giles, and a thin front court for the Trailblazers. And you can only play 2. So you're going to have to make a tough call. Right now, like I'm debating getting him in there into my lineup. We got about 30 minutes, but that'll be kind of a last-minute decision for me. So I do have interest in Boogie in about 20 minutes. John Wall as well, right? No Harden. 20 minutes, he can definitely get it done. Like, there's not a lot of high-usage guys. It's going to be Wall, and it's going to be Boogie. That's where the offense is going to come from Houston. And Chicago's not great defensive teams. Wall, Boogie, definitely still in play with them only getting about 20 minutes. Other than that, I do want to mention a couple cheap plays. So the rest of the starters, we went over. So Gordon, House, Jason Tate. I'm not really looking to Tate or House, low usage guys. Eric Gordon, very boomer bust, low floor, scoring dependent. So, you can take a shot there, but not super, super excited about it. The couple guys off the bench I do want to mention, with them only playing 20 minutes, that means some of these bench guys are going to get good run. Well, who are guys that I'm considering off the bench? There's 2. Chris Clemens, 4K. He's going to be very low owned. He has flashed a ton of upside one given time for this Houston team. And I expect him to get some decent run, maybe about 20 minutes as well. So, yeah, Clemens definitely someone I'm looking to for a value play. And then also Bruno Caboclo. Like, Houston is thin. They're really thin up front. So, no Wood, no PJ Tucker. Boogie going to play about 20 minutes. I don't think Tyson I don't think he's on the team anymore. And then Kenny Wooten was claimed off waivers. I don't know if he's going to see a ton of runs. So a guy like Bruno Caboclo, I mean, again, they're pretty thin. Caboclo is also a decent fantasy point per minute guy. So it's Caboclo, it's Chris Clemens if you want to target guys off the bench here for the Rockets. Let's move on to the Bulls. Going to try to keep an eye on chat here. We're over 300 viewers. Thank you, guys. Hit that like button if you do enjoy. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Boogie over Vooch for the price, probably high. It's close, right? Price doesn't matter a ton. It's 25 minutes of Vooch versus 20 minutes of Boogie, right? That's a really close one for me. I don't trust Vooch getting 25 minutes because he's established vet and Clifford is suspect. Yeah, and you definitely don't have to play Vooch. There's other center plays. You like Holmes or Cantor as a top value? That's close. I think I would give the edge to Holmes if Whiteside is out, and Whiteside, we don't know that news yet. But if Whiteside's out, again, we already have Bagley out. I think I would give the edge to Holmes, but that's close. I do like Cantor. I like Holmes. I like Giles' value plays. Any love for Harrell? Yeah, I do like Harrell. He's power forward eligible. No AD, no LeBron. Is Kawhi playing tonight? We don't have news yet. I assume no, but we'll see. What are your thoughts on Levine? I think he's a decent play. But all right, let's talk about the Bulls now. So Bulls, we have starters: Levine, Kobe White, Markin, Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter Jr. I expect about 20, 25 minutes for these guys is my best guess. Levine, Kobe White are the high usage guys in this offense. Levine at 7'8", Kobe White at 6'9". Levine is probably the better overall player, but maybe expect a couple more minutes for Kobe White, the younger guy. So it's close there if you're going to make me pick. Markkanen's not really someone looking to score independent big. Cross off there. Otto Porter Jr., I don't expect. I mean, they said he'll get decent run, but I don't expect it. And then Wendell Carter Jr. at 4'7" in play. But again, center's pretty loaded tonight. You have Vooch, you have Boogie, you have some of those value plays. Are you going to play Wendell Carter Jr. over them? I would say probably not. So, it's Levine, it's Kobe White for me, basically. As far as any guys off the bench, I think Sato intrigues me, but how much run does he get? You have the rookie Patrick Williams, I should say. They took him the 4th overall pick, so they saw something with him. I think they want to give him a decent run. And, yeah, that's really it for me for the Bulls. So, we got 2 games left. Let's see if we got any more news here. I'm trying to do my best to keep an eye on this, guys. I'll try to keep an eye on chat. We'll get to questions at the very end as well. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye on my phone as well. Make sure I don't miss anything. Rockets, again, we went over that. 20 minutes for the starters. Billy Donovan said pregame plan for Otto Porter Jr. is extensive minutes in first half and nothing in the second half. So, I'm not really on Otto Porter. But with him saying that, with KJ Johnson, beat reporter for the Bulls, saying that, he said extensive minutes in the first half and nothing in the second half. That leads me to believe that the starters for the Bulls will get run in the second half. So, yeah, I think Levine and Kobe White are definitely in play here. Let's see, you guys are Yep, okay, I just retweeted that. Okay. So I think we're on top of things. Again, it's hectic with all this news. I'm doing my best here. But all right, let's move on to the Clippers. So Clippers, we don't know yet. This is a late game. Last year, Kawhi and Paul George didn't play a ton in the preseason. I don't expect them to play a lot here, if at all. Lakers resting AD, resting LeBron. So my best guess is we don't see Kawhi and Paul George today. I also don't think we see a ton of Serge Ibaka, veteran. Obviously, he's been dealing with some injuries as well. Marcus Morris, veteran. Again, don't expect a ton from him. So I'm really looking to more of the value guys here for the Clippers. So young guy like Ivica Zubac, revenge game here against the Lakers. Going up against probably Montrezl Harrell, not a great defender. I think definitely in play. What I expect minutes-wise, it's unknown, right? New coach, so we don't really know on the Clippers. This is kind of a wait-and-see approach. Do you want to leave room for some of these guys in the late game? Again, there definitely could be some good value. So Zubac is a kind of wait-and-see at the moment, right? I think definitely does have potential, though, to have a really good game if they do end up resting some of the starters. Lou Williams, I don't think he plays a ton, if at all. And then, a guy like Terrence Mann is one given time. Like, this guy is a really, really good point per minute guy. If they do rest a lot of their main guys. Now, if all the Clippers starters are playing, then I'm not as interested in Terrence Mann. But he's had games in preseason games. In one of the games in the regular season, I think the last game in the bubble, he went absolutely off when they only had like 6 or 7 active players. He's a guy that can fill up the stat sheet. So Terrence Mann definitely in consideration here. Again, him, Zubac are kind of where I'm looking to. And that's really it. Maybe Kabengele gets some run as a younger guy. But I think it's Zubac. It's Terrence Mann for me. But it is a wait-and-see approach, and we don't have news confirmed there for the Clippers. Let's see. Simmons or Terrence Mann. That's a tough one right now. Again, it's kind of just got to monitor the news. So let's move on to the Lakers. Lakers, what we do know, no LeBron, no AD. So that's good. What do I expect minutes-wise? Well, again, unknown. It's a late game, so we'll probably get this news, but after lock. So guys I'm looking to, Schroeder and Montrez. I like these guys a lot if they get about 25 minutes. Now, again, we don't know the minutes. So do you want to risk it and leave some spots open in these late games and hope these starters get good run? Or, this is also a viable approach, do you want to just go off what we have confirmed? So play a bunch of the Magic starters, play a bunch of the Hawks starters, play Wall or Boogie, right? We know they're going to get decent run. So that's up to you, right? It's a tough call, but if they do get their decent minutes, if we get about 25 from Schroeder and Harrell, I love them. two of the highest usage guys in the league out of the lineup. Schroeder was the sixth man there for the Thunder. Very, very high usage guy. Aggressive, can fill up the stat sheet. Harrell is super, super aggressive, especially in the offensive boards. I kind of like the pick and roll game there with those two. I don't expect Gasol to play, if at all. So Schroeder, Montrez, again, the younger guys, I do like them a lot if they get normal minutes. Other guys interest here, Kyle Kuzma. He's a guy that will shoot it a ton. Not afraid to shoot it. And especially with LeBron AD out, again, younger guy. So Kuzma, Schroeder, Harrell, I like a lot right now for the Lakers. Again, this is guessing, but I'm assuming they get their normal run. I like those three guys a good amount. As far as low-owned plays, there's a couple guys I want to mention. A guy, Deion Waiters. I don't think he plays a ton because he's a veteran, but he will always shoot it when he's out there. Caruso is a guy that can fill up the stat sheet as well, and if he's playing alongside the scrubs, you can give a look to him. So, Lakers, again, same with the Clippers, kind of wait-and-see approach for some of these guys. Now with the Kings, we have nothing confirmed yet, but based off the first preseason game last year, again, we went over this in my video, that the starters got close to 30 minutes. So they got a little over 30 minutes because due to overtime. But so the Kings, assuming that happens again, assuming these starters get close to 30 minutes, they're some of the top plays of the slate. So guy De'Aaron Fox, love him as a spend up. Again, you got him, you got Trae Young, two of the top spend ups of the day. I think you do play both, in my opinion, on this one. So really like Fox. They just gave him a new contract. He's a younger guy. So one of my favorite plays for sure. Buddy Hield in play, but a little bit more scoring dependent. I feel a little bit more comfortable with Fox there for a little bit more. Bagley's out. Whiteside dealing with a calf injury. We'll see if he plays. If he does miss, then there's some value here for the Kings. Guys being Rashawn Holmes, right? They would be pretty thin up front. Holmes is a good point per minute guy. I would expect him to start and probably play, 25 or so minutes. So Holmes definitely looking to for value. I think you can go look to Bielitsa as well, assuming he plays, but I would guess yes. He's a guy that can get hot behind the three-point line. I don't think he's going to be super popular. And then a guy, Jabari Parker. We'll guess he comes out of the bench, but he's a really good offensive player. Doesn't need a ton of minutes, honestly, to have a big game. So Parker is definitely someone to look into as a lower-owned play. So, there's some options here for the Kings, right? It's Fox at the top. Hield viable, but not as excited about it. If Harrison Barnes played 50 minutes tonight, I would still have no interest. Halliburton, again, rookie. What do we expect minutes-wise? He'll come off the bench, maybe 15 to 20. Viable. And then we talked about the bigs, right? Bielitsa, Holmes, Jabari Parker. Lastly, Portland. So, Portland, if we go off the news, last game, or first preseason game last year, they played about 15 minutes, the main guys with Lillard and CJ. So, right now, not as excited about them. Nurkic is not going to play. Melo and Covington, they're veterans. I don't expect them to play a ton either. So, really not looking to any of the main guys for Portland at the moment. Again, things can change, but not really looking to them at the moment. The guys I really like here are the cheap guys. So Enes Kanter, Harry Giles. They're thin up front, looking like Kanter's going to start. He's a really, really good point per minute guy. We know, last season, super frustrating with Brad Stevens. There'd be games where he would play a couple minutes. There'd be games where he would play 15 minutes and crush, and then games where he would just not play. And you just couldn't, it was just every single night it was either DNP or he played 15 minutes and crushed. Well, we could probably expect about 15 minutes from Kanter. Again, really, really good point per minute guy, so definitely looking to Kanter there for value, but center is loaded. Harry Giles as well. I think Kanter is going to be more popular as a cheap play. Giles intrigues me. He's also a really good point per minute guy. If the starters do get limited, I expect probably about 20 minutes from Giles. It's a revenge game narrative too. Again, he's 22, so I have interest in both these guys, in both Giles and Kanter. And finally, Anthony Simons. Again, if they do end up limiting the starters, he's a guy that is not afraid to shoot it either. So those are the three guys I'm looking to for the Trailblazers: Simons, Kanter, Giles. All right, so that's really it for the player-by-player breakdown. Again, I'm going to keep an eye on news here. You can leave some questions in the chat. I'm probably going to rearrange my lineup or two as well. Again, I know I'm going really fast, but you kind of have to with all this news. Let's see. Trying to see if we got any more news. Again, if you guys see anything, link it to me on Twitter. I probably will miss some stuff live streaming. Let's see. Okay, so let's get to some questions. Hey DK, what's your core today? Okay, core. So I would do this for a core. I'm going off what we kind of have confirmed. So Trae Young, definitely one of the top plays of the slate in my opinion for the Magic. I think it's Vucevic. Right now we have confirmed about 25 minutes for him. Sure, that's no guarantee, but I do like Trae Young. I do like Vooch. And I do like De'Aaron Fox, assuming he gets his normal run about 25 to 30 minutes. I think he looks really, really good. And then as far as, let's see, who else do I want to throw in there? And you can throw a guy like Bogdan. I think he looks pretty good. On the Magic side, there's some other viable players. You can look to a guy like Boogie Cousins in 20 minutes. I think he could crush. The Bulls guards with Kobe White, Zach LaVine, definitely in play. But right now, again, this is assuming that Schroeder and Montrez get good run. I think I'll probably go try to get one or both of them at the moment. So, do you want to go Harold? Do you want to go Schroeder? Doesn't matter. We'll throw Schroeder in there for now. We'll throw him in the shooting guard. Just leave a little bit more open. But yeah, that's kind of the core. Again, you definitely don't have to use all your salary, but those like the spend up guys I kind of like. Love Collins. Yeah, I think Collins definitely can play. Last spot, Tobin or Harris. I think I'll give that edge to Harris at the moment. Ball from Detroit going to get run versus Knicks? I don't think so, or not enough for me to consider him. Thoughts on Rocco? Not really looking to Rocco. Lower usage guy. Jeremy Grant viable. Yep, Jeremy Grant's in play. Between Cantor, Giles, Holmes, and Cousins, who are your top two? Again, that's really close to me. I think I'd go Boogie 1, just because right now we have confirmed about 20 minutes for those starters. So Boogie 1, and then Holmes, assuming he gets about 25 minutes. Again, I'm kind of guessing here, so I guess I'll go Boogie, then Holmes, then Cantor, Giles. Schroeder, White. Depends on news, really. That's a close one. Right, both I expect probably about 25 minutes from. Favorite small forward and DK. Yeah, small forward's kind of weak. Right now, I think it's going to be Bogdan for me. Like, I don't think Kawhi plays. LeBron's out. Aaron Gordon's going to be limited. You can look to Buddy Hield, but he is a little bit more scoring dependent. King starters will probably get decent runs. So I think Buddy Hield is in play. Marcus Morris, don't expect him to play. So I think it's probably Buddy Hield or Bogdan Bogdanovic for me. Small forward is really, really weak. Kuzma too. Kuzma as well. So those are probably the three guys. Even Jabari Parker possibly is a lower owned play, but I think what you could do is Buddy Hield, Bogdan Bogdanovic, and Kyle Kuzma at small forward. Halliburton, a little bit risky because we don't know what the minutes are going to be for him. Thoughts on Clint Capella and John Collins? You can play both, but for me, it'll probably be Trae Young and then maybe one or two more pieces. So I wouldn't go like insane with my Hawks exposure. Any Fultz? Yeah, Fultz is in play. Again, 25 minutes for the Magic. That right now for the starters is really good. Favorite game to target? Tough because we don't have news in the late game, so that's hard to answer right now at the moment. Hayes, Grant, Griffin, Plumlee. Oh, okay. So Hayes, Wright. Hayes, DeLon Wright, Jeremy Grant, Blake Griffin, and Plumlee starters. Okay. Thanks for that. Again, Pistons. Stars didn't play a ton in their first season game last year, so don't expect a ton from them. Killian Hayes will probably still be the guy for me. Thoughts on Caboclo? I do like Caboclo. He's going to be low owned. I expect good run because the Rockets are thin up front. Do you have to play one of the cheap centers tonight? No, you don't have to. Right? You have Vooch, you have Boogie. There's other centers you can look to for sure. And that's kind of what I'm deciding between right now. Do I want to play Boogie or do I want to play one of those cheap centers in Giles, in Holmes, in Cantor? That's a tough one. Hayes or Simmons, again, a little bit tough because, again, we don't know the news of the Trailblazers. So that one's basically coin flip. Any interest in Eric Gordon? I would rather just no. I don't think you have to. I would rather play Wall or Boogie than Eric Gordon. Any love for Skylar Mays? For the Hawks at 4. No, I don't think we have to do it. That's getting too cute. Alec Burks starting. Yeah, I don't really have interest in Burks. Thoughts on Anthony Edwards? I don't want to look into there. Is Holmes in play regardless? Yes, he's in play regardless. Especially looks even better if Whiteside's out. Boogie and Bruno in the same lineup, reasonable. Yeah, you can play both. I expect about 20 minutes from both. Any worry leaving with money on the table? No, you can leave as much money on the table as you want. Like you can have 3 to 5K on the table. Is Fournier in play? Not really for me. Lower usage guy playing alongside Vooch and Aaron Gordon. Any love for John Collins? Yes. Who are your gut picks today? Well, kind of one of our core plays. I talked about a lot of the cheap guys I think are going to be a little bit lower owned that I have interest in. What are your thoughts on RJ Barrett? Not really super interested in the Knicks guys. Just because of limited minutes for them, it was what it's looking like. Bruno and Vucevic or Collins and Boogie? Collins and Boogie. Thoughts on Buddy Hield? Yep, small forward's weak, definitely in consideration. One over him and Bogdan and Kuzma's the top place at small forward. RJ Barrett, again, I'm not super excited about the Knicks. You tell me I'm not screwed with Halliburton, haha. No, Halliburton has upside. It's just, what are the minutes going to be? I really like RJ, bro. If you really like him, play him. Go with your gut. What do you think about Gordon? Not super interested in Gordon. Bjelica or Jabari? Right now, it's going to be Bjelica for me. That's assuming starters get good run. I would assume Bjelica starts. So if Bjelica does start and the Kings starters get their normal 25 to 30 minutes like we saw last season in the first game, I'll go Bjelica. But Parker is going to be very low owned and does possess upside. So right now it's Bjelica, but could change. Are you streaming tomorrow? Yep. Going to be streaming every day for the preseason as well as videos. Favorite sub, 4,400 forward. That's a tough one. It's probably going to be like Kuzma. Let's see. We're talking about Kuzma. I'll try to go through this quick. I think Bjelica's in play. I think Jabari Parker's in play. I'm trying to go fast here. Those three. Bruno as well. That's probably where I look for cheap forwards. Man or Kuzma? Well, we don't have news for either team at the moment, so that's hard to answer. If the Clippers do end up wrestling like everyone, all the main guys, then it's Terrence Mann. If the starters do end up playing, then it's Kuzma for me. Is it smart to fade Fox for Hield? You can do it. It's going to be contrarian, but yeah, you can definitely do it. And also, if you're building lineup again, kind of what we went over in like DFS 101 in my video, leave the spots, like the utility spots, if you can, open for the late games to make changes, right? Make swaps, right? We're gonna get news after lock. You're gonna have to be able to make some changes here. Collins or Harrell. If I knew Montrez was going to play 25 minutes, it would be Montrez. But right now, we don't have that confirmed. We do have the Hawks starters confirmed. So I think Collins at the moment is a safer play. But Harrell is a guy that if he does get the 25 minutes, I think he probably has a little more upside with him Schroeder. Can you play Bruno and Cousins together? Yep, you can. I have no clue what I'm doing, LOL. Yeah, preseason kind of hectic, right? My lineup, Hayes or Fox on FanDuel's salary. Fox. Markkanen, not interested in Markkanen, lower scoring dependent for big. Are you keeping a spend-up guy in utility for the late swaps? No, but I have 3 guys right now in the late games for utility. But so right now, like my way to get different is I have Harry Giles in my lineup just because again they're thin up front. I expect decent minutes from him in a revenge game. But what I'm debating is, do I want to play Giles or do I want to take the 20 minutes in Boogie? I think Boogie has a little bit more upside, but do we get the 20 minutes from him, right? That's still not like confirmed that we get 20 minutes from DeMarcus Cousins. They said about 20. It's a tough one. It really is for me. So I'm kind of rearranging some stuff potentially here. DK, you playing Cousins? Yep, that's kind of what I'm considering right now. Right, is 20 minutes of Cousins better than some of the value guys potentially could play a little bit more minutes? Capella or Griffin? I'm not really interested in either. I'd rather play Capella. Kobe White or Schroeder? Schroeder, if both play about 25 minutes, is Schroeder for me. Bjelica or Harrell or Cousins? Again, that's a tough one as well. I'll go Harrell of those 3 if he does get 25 minutes. But again, we don't have that confirmed. Let's see if we got any more news here. We're going to try to keep an eye on this. Okay, nothing. I haven't seen anything. Who you like at center? We went over a lot of the center plays, right? You got Vooch, you got Boogie, you have some cheap plays you mentioned, Holmes and Giles and Cantor. A lot of good plays at center. Horton Tucker, not really looking there. Are you trying? I'm trying for showdowns for the Rockets game. Should I play only starters? No, you can play guys on the bench. I made a showdown lineup as well. So yeah, my showdown lineup for Houston and Chicago has 4 starters and 2 guys on the bench. Covington, I'm not looking to Covington. Any love for Killian Hayes? Yes, in play. I think about 20 minutes from him. I'm playing Cousins. Yeah, it's a close one there. He's a really, really high usage guy, but does he get the 20? They said he was going to be, but who knows? Trey, Fultz, Bogdan, Collins, Boogie, Hayes, Harrell, Fox. I think it looks good. Again, guys, leave Leave your utility spots for the late game for sure. I'll ask one more time to hit that like button, guys. We're at 81 likes. Can we get to 100 before I get out of here? I'll stay after lock for a few minutes to answer any last-minute questions. But yeah, news is everything. I'll do my best to keep you guys updated on Twitter, so make sure to follow me on Twitter as well. Favorite small forward plays, it's Bogdan, it's Buddy Hield, and it's Kyle Kuzma at the moment. How does this look, DK? Young, Schroeder, Bogdan, Collins, Giles, Hayes, Toppin, and Fox. I think it's perfectly fine, right? You're taking some shots and some rookies in Toppin and Hayes. But in the preseason, again, I always kind of give the edge to younger guys, so I have no issue with that. Knox or Hutchinson, I wouldn't play either, to be honest. Holmes or Hayes, depends, right? If we get the news that the Kings starters are going to get 25 to 30, it's Holmes. So that's a tough one. 25 minutes MCW is slate breaking. Yeah, he's going to be really, really low owned. Like him, Cole Anthony, they're definitely in play here. They're going to be low owned, but 25 minutes is really, really good. So you can load up on some of these Magic guys. MCW, Cole Anthony. Yeah, they're for sure in play. What's the most you won on DK? About $5,000 a couple years ago in NBA. Drop a like. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah, Fultz, MTW, or Bogdan. Bogdan for me. But yeah, Fultz and MC. Bogdan's going to be really popular. So if you want to get a little bit different, you can look to Fultz or MCW. Can you rate my lineup? Young, White, Trae Young, Kobe White, RJ Barrett, Caboclo, Vucevic, Fox, Kennard, Fultz. Again, Knicks guys. How many minutes do they get? Randall. He would be my favorite Knicks play, but it's looking like they're probably getting about 20 minutes is my best guess, going off what we saw so far from the beat writers. We got 1 minute until the early games lock. My exposure for the early games, I have 4 guys in the early games. Dawsey, $2 super chat. Drop a like, free content. Hey, appreciate that. Thank you. Young, Trae Young, Levine, Bogdan, Harrell, Cousins, Bjelica, Fox, Grant. I think that looks good. I have no issue with that at all. I'll go over some ownership as well. So, yeah, I'll stay after for a few minutes, guys. Another $5 super chat from Jake Anderson. Drop a like for real, for real. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Let's see if we got anything else. I'll go over some ownership too once we get it for the early games. I'm in the Slam or the $222 tournament, so we'll go over some ownership in that one. I just woke up. What's the play? KCP or Kuzma? Kuzma. Locked in. Yeah, we are locked. Let's see when ownership loads for this first game. All right, so let's see. This is in the Slam Jam, the $222 entry. Let's get some ownership. Trae Young, 87% owned. Bogdan Bogdanovic, 31%. John Collins, 37%. Vucevic, 59% owned. So those are the 4 guys I played. Let's see if we got some other ownership. Markelle Fultz coming in at 40% owned. Don't mind that. Randall, 43%. Again, based off what we saw, what we've seen for news, I think it's a fine play. He'd be my favorite play, but on the Knicks. But I think they're not going to get as much run. Killian Hayes, 31% owned. Not super surprised about that. Let's see if we got any other ownership. Again, I'm trying to scroll through here. Alfred Payton, 4% owned. Yeah, I'm fine getting away from that. Gallinari, 2%. No, thank you. All right, so that's kind of it for the Slam Jam. Let's talk about the big tournament now. The preseason tip-off, the $25K to first one. Trae Young, 68%. Bogdan, 30%. Collins, 32%. Vucevic, 43%. Blake, 9% owned. Again, I'm good with that. Fading that. This is just ownership. Again, this is in the big tournament. I'm scrolling through other players to see what we got. Fultz, 24%. Hunter, 3%. RJ Barrett, 23%. Yeah, I'm fine getting away from that. Rose, and Blake, they're I wouldn't look there. Let's see. All right, that's good. We got a good idea of what ownership looks like. Redish 1% decent. It's a dart throw. So ready for this NBA season. Always do better in the NBA. If Randall has a big game, I'm in trouble because I faded that whole game. Well, yeah, again, Randall would be the guy for me on the Knicks. The reason, the reason I wasn't, or the reason kind of got off him was just because we got that news of they're going to try a lot of different combinations and they're going to play in 7-minute stints. So with the starters playing in 7-minute stints, I don't expect them to play the full game. So that probably means 14 minutes in the first half and then 7 minutes in the second half. So probably about 20 minutes. Well, I'd love 60% Trae Young in the $1. Yeah, that's still too low in my opinion. Top and 11%, I'll take it. I end up with Trae, Fultz, Bogdan, Collins, Boogie, Fox here. I'll top and everything looks good. In the first game, I got 60% Trae, 30% Bogdan, 30% Collins, 24% Hayes, 14% Toppin. I'm hoping Fox ownership it will be lower because people want to Vooch. We'll see if Fox's ownership. I still think it's gonna be pretty popular. But all right, any last minute news? I'll get out here again, guys. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'll keep you guys updated throughout the night. We do have we're still waiting on news in some of the late games. Obviously, things can change, so really got to stay on top of things. Let's see, anything else from these beat writers? I think that's really it. 45%, that's where I went different. Then don't hate it. FanDuel, Trae Young, only 54. RJ season, 3% MCW. Hey, I like that as well. You see that new LA COD team? I did. LA Thieves. Well, I got 56% Trae and $3. Would you prefer Jabari or Cantor in single entry? Cantor's going to be a lot more popular in that single entry game, so that's a close one. If you want to get different, go Jabari. Again, both are really good offensive players. As a Hawks fan, I can't believe myself for fading Trae. You faded Trae. That's that's one way to get different. He could have an off night. You never know. But that's a bold fade for sure, guys. All right, I'm gonna hop out here, guys. Again, make sure to hit that follow button. I'll have a video up for Saturday's slate later tonight, NFL as well, plus the live stream Saturday. So a lot of content coming out for you guys. But I really do appreciate everyone to come and check the live stream. So happy NBA to be back. We hit over 300 concurrent viewers. That's amazing. So thanks again, guys, for everyone to check out the stream, for all the super chats. Again, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll have a video up tonight for Saturday's stream. And again, keep updated with on Twitter. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I have 8,900 left for utility. Who should I play late game? Again, kind of depends on news. We got to wait for news. So good luck, and I will see you guys all tomorrow.